So this piece here from Mundo Deportivo say Liverpool face competition in their new manager search after an offer was reportedly made to Barcelona. The Reds aren't the only ones in the hunt this summer. Mundo Deportivo reports that Thomas Tuchel has offered his services to Barcelona. The Catalonians need a new boss for the 2024-25 campaign after Xavi announced he was stepping down after this season. Piece goes on to say Liverpool, though, could see it as a complication. There is next to no doubt that if they're after Xabi Alonso as their new boss, Alonso is the coach of Bayer Leverkusen, the team that looks like ending Bayern Munich's dominance in Germany. Alonso, former player of Liverpool, of course, and he allegedly had a verbal agreement with Leverkusen to leave in the summer for one of his former clubs. However, Bayern are also one of his former clubs. This video is sponsored by Surfshark, the best VPN on the market. Surfshark is an app or browser extension that allows you to change your location to access websites in other countries and keep you safe and secure from hackers. Using Surfshark, we here in Ireland can access other countries' Netflix libraries or other streaming platforms like DAZN in Spain for all those important Premier League games. Surfshark keeps you safe and private by protecting everything you do online. Everything. When your device connects to the internet, all that information is, in a way, blurred out. Surfshark is particularly useful for keeping you safe from being hacked if you use public Wi-Fi. Let's say you're in a cafe, you're at college, you're out and about, they've got you covered. Surfshark allows you to use one subscription on unlimited devices, meaning you can share your account with friends or family or that neighbour who's a little bit cheap. On top of all of this, Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can also upgrade to Surfshark One, which includes the VPN, an alert system for breaches related to your data, such as emails and credit cards, and an antivirus software for your desktop. Our sign-up offer gives you Surfshark VPN for a little over €2 a month, and you'll get an additional 3 months free. Simply scan the QR code on screen right now or use the link in the description and enter the code Anfield Agenda at checkout. If Tuchel does leave, and it appears he's actively trying to, then Alonso will likely top Bayern's list of replacements. They'd also carry Liverpool advantage. The Spaniard is one of 3 clubs he dreams of managing along with Real Madrid. Now there's a lot of time for things to change here. Alonso reportedly won't talk with other clubs until the season is over, while the Reds don't plan on appointing a new manager until they have a sporting director. So again, this looks like it's snowballing, and I kind of didn't really expect anything else, to be honest. Once it was announced that Jurgen Klopp was departing Liverpool, and of course that Xavi Hernandez was departing Barcelona, the managerial merry-go-round was always going to click into action. And I think, for me, and look, I don't know if I'm deluded here, but I get the feeling that it would be an easier and a better move for Alonso to go from Leverkusen to Liverpool rather than Leverkusen to Bayern. Maybe that's just because I think it would be a bigger shithouse thing to do, going directly from Leverkusen to Bayern Munich, particularly if you're after, winning the league title with Leverkusen. Doesn't feel like, weirdly, it would feel like a backward step, even though it isn't, if you get me. You're going from a team that you've just won the league with to a team that you've just beaten out to win the league. The mental gymnastics there is, it's easy enough to come up with a reason as to why that might be a bit of a weird step. Whereas for Liverpool, there's the possibility of maybe Manchester City and Pep Guardiola departing in a year or so, and maybe Alonso could be the start of a new era of dominance, or a new battle with maybe Mikel Arteta and Arsenal for the dominance in the Premier League over the next few years, maybe even United coming back to the table. Look, I'm doing some mental gymnastics of my own here, granted, but I see it as our race to lose. That's my take on it. From the last time Xabi Alonso came back to play in the Legends game, I think he was playing against United, this is what Mr. Alonso had to say about Liverpool back then. He said, "Every time you have the opportunity to get back to Anfield, it's really exciting for me after a few years since my last participation. I'm really looking forward to being back in the stadium, to be back with the fans. It's always very enjoyable, and you really feel privileged to have played here. My last time was the other Legends game against Bayern. Since then, I've not come back to Anfield. I've been busy with my coaching things, and now I have more time. You always miss where you've been happy and where you have great moments, great memories. You always miss it for sure sometimes. It's going to be really enjoyable, really exciting for me to have that feeling. I remember the first time I was on the pitch and you felt the soul of the stadium. That's what excites me the most, to get back and feel that special charm that is unique at Anfield. Once a red, always a red. It's not a logo. I think it's a reality. Not just my case, but that for most of us feel really close to the club. Wherever you are in the world, Liverpool remember you and they keep you close to the club. That's the best thing about Liverpool. All of the support and all the family that's around the world. Glowing from Mr. Alonso there, of course, speaking about Liverpool. And this is why I've been saying to everybody for a while that, yes, I get that Real Madrid and Bayern Munich are big clubs and the clubs he's played for, but I really feel his connection is to Liverpool Football Club. And I feel like we're the ones that can pull on Mr. XABI Alonso's heartstrings more than any other. So, well, maybe Sociedad, but, you know, Liverpool's a bigger job than Sociedad. And on that, actually, I'm going to speak a little bit about what Guillem Balagué has had to say, because obviously Guillem Balagué is a Spanish football expert, and he was speaking to BBC Football News Show, and this is what Guillem has had to say. When he went to Bayer Leverkusen, he told his agent, do you know what? I'm thinking that if it doesn't go well at Bayer Leverkusen, I'll just go back to Sociedad. But if it goes well from here, it's Liverpool, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. Let me add Manchester City to that equation, and that's where XABI Alonso could go next, when is a different matter. So I don't think Alonso would take over at Manchester City. I really don't. But I do agree with Mr. Guillem Balagué that Liverpool would certainly be one of those clubs that XABI would want to come and manage. So yeah, it's all looking positive, but we still got to get the job done and over the line, right? And get the announcement and get them signed up. Personally, don't think there'll be news about XABI until the season is over. So on that, Desi, can we wait that long? Because I've got to be honest with you, mate, I'd be very nervous. Because, you know, it's great if it works out and you know you have Alonso, but let's say, as an example, Alonso said he doesn't want to discuss his future until the summer. And let's say Liverpool were respectful of that and wait until the summer. If it doesn't work out, you know, are we in trouble? Yeah, well, you would hope we've at least appointed a sporting director at that point, but it would leave us with a lot of work to do in a very short period of time. You know, you'd imagine Leverkusen and Liverpool would go deep into the Europa League, so, you know, it could literally be the last games of the season. And if he said no, or the club weren't able to come to an agreement with him, it's a lot of scrambling around then to do to sort out player recruitment, a manager, a style of football, to sort out the contracts for Virgil van Dijk, for Mohamed Salah, for Trent Alexander-Arnold, who would then be in the last year of their deals. It's, I don't know. I can understand why somebody would say that, like Alonso, that he doesn't want to be distracted, but I don't know if we can wait that long. It's a risk, and a risk I don't think we have the luxury to take, personally. I think John W. Henry gets an agreement with XABI but hides it until the summer. Now that, I'd have no issues with, Carson. As long as the club got their yes. You know, if it doesn't go public, fair enough. As long as the club know behind the scenes what they're working towards, I could understand that. But I also think that there's a lot to be said for getting the deal done, announcing it, and then letting everybody go back to work. You know, let's say an announcement was made next week, just off the top of my head. Then we can say, all right, well, we know what's happening with Klopp, we know what's happening with Alonso, they can go back, finish the seasons, XABI can try and win whatever he wants to try and win with Leverkusen, and we can try and win one of the 4 trophies, or all of the 4 trophies that we're still playing for with Jurgen. So I think the distraction would die down very quickly. But, you know, this is the dance right now, isn't it, for us trying to figure out what life looks like after Jurgen. Craig, Bayern at an all-time low, players' futures uncertain, new board shaking everything up, and reports suggesting Mourinho was already learning German. I did read that, like you've said. There was certainly some talk that Mourinho was learning German and being considered for the job. And do you know what? I could understand it as an appointment. I won't claim to know the ins and outs of what's going on at Bayern. But I have heard murmurings throughout the season that players aren't happy. Joshua Kimmich didn't feel valued, and that Tuchel has perhaps not won everybody over. Mourinho, would it work? I don't know. God, it's I'm sure there's a lot more knowledgeable German football fans than me who would probably have an opinion on whether Mourinho would work at Bayern Munich or not.